Hello, everyone. Welcome to MonDice Night Raw. I don't know. We're trying. I'm trying new things. I don't think that one worked. No. Nope. Look.
Everybody has voted against.
Everybody has voted against that. That's fine. It's not going to hurt me. You're not going to see me cry. Don't worry, you're not the only one who didn't do their shopping.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't do shopping.
I still have to finish leveling her too.
That's the problem.
I know, I'm sorry.
But hi guys, how we doing tonight? All the dice, all the everything. And more chicanery to be had. Oh, who the hell is this? Oh, okay, that makes sense then. Like, who the hell's loaded out with all kinds of, like, money and shit? There's no one you have around. But aside from that, who would like to catch everybody up?
Are we gonna roll for it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll for it. Roll for recap. So,
17?
what happened?
Ah, shit. Fluffy, you rolled so low.
That is my skill.
So, there were 5 arena fights that we partook in. We won all of them. Though that last one was absolutely terrifying as Tallow got dropped.
Gonna get you on that one.
Tallow got dropped in the first attack, and, we had to get him back up. Tallow and Syl won the kill count, so Dez and Scotty, who tied for last place, get to buy them drinks. And now we're kind of pending what's next. Because we ended right after the fight and nothing else.
Yep.
Oh, and Scotty picked up a lot of rocks. Did she get one for that last one?
I was going to say. Thank you, Doge. Think he's trying to pad his... I don't know if he can gain more health from that. But thank you, Doge, for the bits.
You know what? When you're streaming next, I'm going to go in there and murderize him.
Oh, no. I don't know how you're going to be able to...
But I'm going to figure it out.
Just out of spite?
Out of spite.
He gave us salt bits.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus, man. Come on now. Let's be reasonable here. So, yes, lying on the floor is smaller crystalline formations where these other creatures were destroyed, which I'm imagining like the great Hoover vacuum that she is.
No, she's a hoarding dragon. She can't help herself. She picks it up quickly than she should have.
All right, so you have those crystals.
So did she get 4 from each fight? Because I thought she got 1 from each.
She got 1 from each fight.
And this one 4.
Huh?
And this one 4, or?
This one of each of those you got.
Okay.
But you are, again, led back across the bridge, as it were.
That's not Colorado, so down, buddy.
And back into the holding area. Where... excuse me. You will find, you'll find both Gil And Nicole just kind of sitting back, just. I'm pretty impressed. You did very well there. I was a little concerned to say the least, but you managed quite well.
We got a bit lucky, I think. That was... Scotty will just shake her head.
Don't be modest. I don't think I could have done much better myself.
I'm surprised to see you.
Just give you a shrug. Well, that's... The important thing is that you made it out alive, and, well... think you showed them what for. You think that, your what's going to be, pleased with your results?
I would hope so.
Alright, well then, now what?
That is a very good question. I believe we need to collect our winnings.
Definitely think we shouldn't let them cheap out on us there. We've earned our coin.
And they owe us quite a bit of it.
Seems an awful, yeah, it's a large sum just for a bit of pit fighting.
Can't imagine it was just pit fighting, but...
Yeah. So, where do you think we ought to go for that?
That is a wonderful question. I thought that questionable guy was going to be down here.
What do you mean, questionable guy?
The weirdo betting money on us. He seems very slick. I don't quite trust him.
Wow, you're breaking my heart, really. It's like you can't trust me.
Scotty just turns absolutely purple.
As he just kind of starts, as Fells walks up, I was like, alright, who the hell are you? Oh, don't worry, I'm just the bookie. I should be mad at you. I should be mad at you.
You're the one who unexplainably comes around and bets money on us, and...
No. Bets money against you.
That's even worse. You do realize that.
That's why I should be mad at you.
Mistake.
Be mad at me if you'd like
No,
to,
I
sir.
should be. I'm not. It's impressive. You did a good job. But I should be mad at you. I lost quite a bit of money today.
Well, perhaps
No.
you shouldn't bet against us.
That's really your fault. You shouldn't bet against us.
Not at Fells.
Fells just kind of looks over at you, Des. Takes a moment, kind of head quirks, and you see this kind of Cheshire grin bloom across his face. I know you, Kitty. Anyway.
Scotty will take a protective step towards Des.
Anyway, he'll go up to the table and pour you out each a shot. Just so, you guys have probably worked up a bit of an appetite, so you've been invited up to the mansion for a dinner.
The group of us.
Well, I was meant to collect the 4 of you, but I guess if you have some tag-alongs, I guess that could be okay. Well, it better be. Looks over.
Yes.
Okay, then. Well, if you guys are ready, now Finish your drinks. We'll head on up.
All right then.
Don't worry. It's not poisonous.
Yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yet. Don't worry. I'm not the kind of person to poison someone.
Even if we're making you lose a lot of money.
Look, I'll probably just take it back from him some other way. It'll be fine.
Scotty will take the drink.
As Tallow and Syl will just kind of... Syl just kind of takes a shot and just...
Fuck now.
So,
straightens himself back up. Smiles a little.
glares.
Try to.
Well, with that, I don't think I've got... What do I have archived? Yeah, I got nothing. I don't have any of this. That's fine.
Yeah, it's over.
So you are taken... You pick yourselves up and walk, and I'm guessing follow Fells.
I think we have to.
Okay. So as you pass through the archways, you're not going through the halls, but as soon as you pass through the arch, the air shifts around you, and as you walk forward, you are met with a wall of trees.
Ooh.
Are they really going back here?
Yes, they are. As
Scotty's gonna just look stunned.
it's as you basically walked out, the other changed, and you walked up a set of stairs, and you find yourselves roughly here, walking through of trees, breaking through to a courtyard.
That's easier than the way I did it.
He just kind of gives you a wink and a grin.
She'll glare back at him.
Easy, Tiger, easy. It's fine, it's fine. Just a couple of tricks I got up my sleeve. Gotta show off every once in a while. Anyway, the boss will be with you in a little bit. Go ahead. They've put out some light refreshments for you over there in the gazebo.
Thank you.
As Fells will walk back down the stairs and out of sight. Oh, this is a place, isn't it? It has a bit of an air about it, doesn't it?
Out of character question?
You,
They went to the gazebo?
I don't know. Are you guys walking towards there?
I would assume so.
Okay.
Is there a coffin in the gazebo?
There is not.
Okay. Scotty's worried.
No. In the gazebo, there seems to be a large round table with not circular, but curved benches. Because I saw that today, and I really like that. Kind of around it, and on there you can see on a tray is a couple of decanters. Some look like a pitcher for wine, another for a more heavier liquor. You see a pitcher for ale. You see there's a few drinks and a couple of like hors d'oeuvre type things, cheese, crackers, bits of bread, scatterings of finger fruit, sliced apples and oranges.
Gay fruit.
Yeah, there's little bits of fruit, cheese, and the like there. Just walk
A
over.
little misleading. It's almost like they intend for there to be a group of people, but everyone knows you must face the gazebo alone.
Well, that's only if you choose to fight it. The gazebo will eject all but one at random. But you guys kind of roll on up. This does have a bit of an air of, I don't know, something alive in here. Syl makes kind of a low whistling sound that's almost flitting in nature, as you would recognize them as the little sylphids, kind of
I'm, so I'm not
of a pale pink and a purplish blue, kind of flit about in the area, casting tiny little bits of light where they touch down briefly.
Looks about the same as the last time I was here.
Well, this is where you came.
This was where I was directed, yes.
Uh-huh. See, Gil starts casting a more wary eye around.
Oh, wait.
Well, I suppose would be... Do you suppose it would be rude for us to start without the host here?
That is quite the question. I assume that it would.
I mean, the person who left us, he directed us here, so it's enough of an invitation. Wouldn't that be right? Syl immediately just beelines over and pours herself a glass of wine. Just kind of sits down, plucks a couple of grapes, and just...
Still has no patience, I see.
Well, I don't think she minds standing on formalities. Better to ask forgiveness than beg forgiveness than ask permission, yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, whatever. Just kind of Gil will kind of sit down, pluck some of the cheese off, and just big fancy place he has here. The hell.
I see you're still irritable. Scotty will shrug but sit next to him. She'll look over to Des, kind of invitingly.
I give
You will
wine.
scoot in next to her.
Look, I know you're not exactly thrilled with all of this, but let's at least enjoy the hospitality while we're getting it. Look, I'm not gonna cause a scene first, all right? Just sit down and rest and eat, figure out what the hell we're doing so that we can get the hell out.
We're gonna have to get some people to get out.
That is true. I've been asking around in the docks, and I think I found some people who might be a bit, well, some people who are willing to get out to sail, but they're nothing special. They're just hands.
That would be good. We're talking about people. Shouldn't Roro be with you guys?
Skill just rolls his head back, looking up at the gazebo. Yes, he should be.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means he knows something. Yeah, I know something. He's not gonna be around.
Did you guys get into another fight?
You're blaming me right from the get-go.
I'm just saying you guys have been at each other's throat for a long time.
I didn't have anything to do with this.
It was just a question, Gil. You don't have to get so angry at me.
He's not here.
Where did he go? He couldn't leave without a boat.
Oh,
Yeah, I could have. Look, there's no easy way to say it, but he's been taken.
Taken? By who?
The same asshole he was serving.
Mm,
Then why didn't you tell us this sooner? How long has he been gone? How far do we know where he is?
I have no idea where he's at.
Then we shouldn't be here. We should be looking for Roro. What if he's close by?
I really don't think he is. Apparently some hotshot has taken him working for the same guy. Got in, got out.
You mean somebody with a lot of power?
Yeah,
How are we supposed to find him?
I don't know.
well,
But
if anybody...
the last I saw of Roro wasn't a whole Roro. It was a flap of skin with a mark burned in it.
Scotty will look absolutely sick.
Well, if anyone in this city knows how to find him, it would probably be the boss man.
Yeah, probably would. Well, I would imagine if I could. I would, unfortunately. As the tall, stately figure of Asaka comes walking up. Unfortunately, the individual who has him is good at getting around what methods I would have to locate him. Believe me, it's an annoyance. But hello, congratulations on your victories.
Hi! I don't think we've met before. I'm
Not-
Des.
Not formally, but I know who you are. And I'm sure I've met at least... no, I've met a couple of you, but not everyone. Nicole Salva, Captain of the Drift. Yes, I've seen your boat come in. Not a bad bit of acquisition. Nicole just kind of gives a shrug and a half smile. Mr. Fang? Yep.
Scotty will look between them.
Syl will kind of lower her cup. Just her name is Sil-san. Asaka will say something in a language that none of you quite catch, and Syl just kind of bows her head slightly, pours more wine. as Talo looks between the two of them, just I know who you are. Thane Ungrad. He's like, at least he got the title right. But it is a pleasure to make your acquaintances, and I apologize that it's not under the best of circumstances.
hard to celebrate a victory with that kind of information.
Believe me, I'm just as displeased by it as you are. I don't like it when people slip in under my nose. Problem I will correct for the next time.
So, I'm kind of new here. Who was he working for?
A man whose name I like not to utter. Mainly for the fact that such beings, speaking the name of them, is almost like, well, an invitation. That's something that perhaps would be valuable for you to know in the future.
Noted.
Just like speaking the name of your master is almost like a little bit of an alert to him. Looking at Dez.
Smiles big.
But what pleasantries we can have, we shall. As he will hand over 4 satchels of platinum, counting out to 480 coins. Well earned. Well earned indeed. I hope you enjoy your payments and the spoils of your victory. So he gives Scotty kind of a pointed look.
She'll turn absolutely purple. I meant to bring that up with you.
Well, you seem to like their luster.
Sometimes things like that catch my eye. I've been told it's just my nature.
Indeed. But go ahead, keep them. They might serve you well.
What are they?
Remnants of a experiment of mine.
The things we were fighting. Your experiment?
I have... How do you want to put... been working on a measure to bolster my reserves. I've taken these constructs and imbued them with a bit of my power. An idea that was presented to me by, we'll call it an acquaintance, which got me thinking I could probably take his design and improve upon it. And I think I've done quite well for myself. Some are easier to manufacture than others, but those crystals should probably give you I'd say about a minute's worth of use if they were not destroyed prematurely.
Interesting. And how do I use them?
Well, they are stable, but essentially, I believe you would have to create a fissure in one of them. So, kind of crack it a little bit, almost like an egg.
Alright.
And then wherever it lands, well, one of these delightful individuals will come forth to aid you. Like I said, the power in the crystals you have are, well, I'd want to say damaged, but then again, you did do quite a number on them. They'll work, but the magic would probably, like I said, carry on for about a minute before fading away.
Alright, so they don't have too much more life in them. Understood.
But they can be useful.
Clearly, they definitely tried to be useful against us.
That was a good amount of fun, I will admit. I'd say that you should probably have a little less fun at our expense, but suppose it's a small price to pay for your weapons training. Well, I suppose you could consider it a weapons test, but then again, I did want to see what you and your ilk were capable of, considering the business I know that you're all coming to engage in.
You mean the rebellion?
Yes. Nasty bit of work you're into. Uphill struggle is the least of what I could say about it. I suppose we could begin by asking if there's any particular path that you thought you had.
Well,
Oh,
I don't think we've all sat down and really talked about it yet, but I was considering Triander because they seem quite the experienced group.
No, there is quite a few individuals. I suppose, yes. Quite a bit of knowledge about worldly goings-on are in that city. That's one avenue you can. Are you looking for information? What is it that you're up to?
Information would be good. I don't think we know too much about what we're going up against, but we need people, clearly. I mean, before heading out this way, Tallow lost a whole camp.
Kind of at that, Tallow and Syl will raise a glass and just quickly down it.
that would
Gil is kind of staying quiet, with Nicole just kind of neutral about it. He didn't know too much about what was going on in there.
Almost got his ass handed to him, but...
No, Nicole.
I know.
No, Nicole was fine. He was on the boat. You met up with him on the boat.
I swear he was...
No, Tallow got his ass kicked.
Well, Tallow was downed, but I swear Nicole was in that fight. I'm gonna have to look back on it.
Maybe, but he wasn't there for a long period of time. If he was rolling up, he was rolling up, but he wasn't there for a while.
Okay.
He wasn't there
I'm gonna
initially.
have to watch.
He was not there initially. I know that much.
I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch.
Well, if Triander is your goal, it's noble enough. There are other places you can look for either allies or resources.
Where would you suggest?
Well, there are quite a few places where you can either gather your support or, well, simply, how to put, gather your own strength. There's always something to be done. Come on, where is it? No.
Oh.
No. We'll go with that one. As he will roll out a map onto the table. That I don't believe that anyone has seen the full map.
Did we not get a full map from the desert people? I know we got a...
You got one of the a
Symaxis?
a map of Symaxis. I do know that.
Okay. I would have to check my notes on my computer for what we got, but
Yeah,
I know
but
we got maps.
at the very least,
I think you're right. I think it was Symaxis and then the star map.
yeah. Yes, you got from the observatory. You got a map of what of what their recorded stars were from there. But this is probably the first time that you've seen the rollout of the world map, and it is inked, it is colored, although it is missing like the very fine details. But it seems to just be an area map. All right. Well, where we are, here. And far, far to the south is where most of your companions have come from.
There's quite a few places from here back to the valley that we could stop and try to find support, but I don't know. When we stopped in Freeport, we did end up getting attacked. I don't know how far we'll be safe getting support.
Oh no!
They seemed like good eggs, but apparently they were quite a bit rotten, eh?
Either that or something had come over them.
Either way, I don't think I'd want to hire from there.
No,
Does not exactly seem secure to me.
that is fair. What about this big landmass next to it?
What? Here in the Divide? Well, that's quite the lawless land.
That might help our cause.
Perhaps. It's a big wild card out there. A lot of city-states, as it were. Unaffiliated. You could find support there. I would advise against going down here. That is the home of our greater adversary.
But do you think that would help us with Roro?
I would imagine your companion is either on that bit of landmass or taken back to the Dareen Valley. Unless they're moving him around for whatever reason.
What about this island here to the east of where we are now?
Transinel is in. Well, no, this one here. I'm sure you can find some individuals there. The spiral there. They're interesting folk. Very close knit, except for the landmass in the middle, the kingdom of Letheril. I don't know how iffy any of you are on the drow, but
Scotty will just shrug.
the queen in charge of there certainly doesn't favor our greater adversary. And on the southern tip, there's a city by the name of Versi. I know the keeper there, and he is a good man.
Might be a good place to start for support.
Also, you will find a fellow adherent in the capital of Merlon. Just as we'll say, a point of interest. Same as my primary temple in our lek. My head priest stays there.
Scotty does look very interested, but due to the simmering man next to her won't comment.
To be fair, glancing over at Gil, he seems to have a pitcher, not a pitcher, but seems to have a mug of ale, and is just kind of leaning back on the back there, just almost a look of conflict, but dully so. But he's not being aggressive or as irritable as he had been in the last conflict. Or the last argument you had.
Alright.
Okay.
Another place that you might find allies is in Dez's homeland.
Yay!
Where would that be?
Nearby, but harder to get to from here. But in Adachime. The new seat of power in the region is a city called Atropos, where the Lord Amadeus holds his court.
We'll glance at Dez.
Des is smiling big and is excited.
I mean, if this is what Dez has told me, that might be a fairly good idea.
The Lord is somewhat restricted, as I am, in dealing in mortal affairs, as it were.
But the people who are faithful to him may have a similar interest as us.
Perhaps. Amadeus, Lord Atropos, would be able to, at the very least, if you go to him, be able to help direct you to other individuals in the area. The people of that valley are accustomed to battling darkness, or at least very much able to recognize it at the very least.
Well, what about the island to the west?
Well, Transenel,
Yes.
they hold a lot of their own politics, a lot of bickering amongst themselves. I'm sure there's people there who might be, but I don't inherently know too much about their dealings.
Sounds like that might be too unstable for what we're looking for.
I never ventured too far into those lands, excepting when they were closer geographically into the divide. With the mixing around of the land masses and all.
Alright. Well, I like this idea of this Laharl and then also Dez's homeland. Those both sound like places we may be able to seek both information and support.
Potentially. I mean, I am certainly a proponent of
And I'd be happy to take you and show you my home.
I would very much like that, Des.
Another place that is, well, that I have allies in. And should you see yourself in the area, there is a city on the Mysidian coastline that I haven't had contact with for quite some time. Certainly longer than I would like. If you're somehow in the area to gather information on that, I would be greatly pleased.
Sounds like something we could do if we hit the Atropos place first and then go over to Laharl. We could stop in Mysidia on our way down.
Yes, you could always.
Trying to make the map round in my head.
Yeah, well, even then, yeah, you kind of go down there, and this is like it's this weird like circular,
Yeah.
like hit in.
I mean, I can't speak for the whole crew, but it is something I would be willing to get into.
Well, we're not going. At the very least, we're not. He's right in saying that we're not going to be able to get this war won just on our own backs, as much as I would like to say it. So we are going to need some help. It's just where to get.
Well, it seems like we have 3 major locations we can check into. And would you suggest any of the other islands?
Well,
I'm sure we would rather stay with the drift than go inland again.
and I can say that I want to spend a bit more time on the boat.
Scotty will just kind of nod eagerly. No more deserts, please.
At the very least, I'm going to be staying with the boat, and it'd be good to have the rest of you on hand.
Now
Unfortunately, I don't have quite the ties in this new world that I would hope for. My name doesn't exactly inspire much in the way of glad tidings. Glancing over at Gil,
Scotty will just stonily not look over at him.
and kind of look over again at Tallow. Just Gil kind of just looks nonplussed, just whereas Tallow just kind of nods a bit. But the places where I've had any kind of an positive influence around here, Ninya, I'm on uneasy, but generally positive. They are our neighbors, and they're a little unstable themselves, but I have people that I've spoken to there who I've had good tidings with. The rest of Symaxis and the Zyros people don't like me. They have their eyes very much trained on our lands here. However, here in Lena Lay, we do have a positive. You go up into the mountains more and you will find the dwarven city of Totalin. Their king and I are on good terms. And the dwarves there are adept machinists. That might help you in some endeavor or another. Arlek, I have good tidings with the king. Same with Adachime.
Sorry, you're losing me. Where are you looking at?
Arlek,
Okay.
here, the Fire Isles. I know the king and we have had positive dealings. Essentially, if you find yourself in a land that belonged to old Pangaea, I'm generally looked upon well there, including Merlon, Ochel, a bits of Letheril, Arlek, Saloni to a lesser extent. But then again, Saloni is very closed off and ruled by Amazons.
I don't think we have time to experience that.
And what the remnants of Mysidia are. I have old and new associates who are there should everything be all right with them.
What about this small island off of the east of Omal?
The greater continent of Iskandrin. The Man of Tal. They're unaffiliated. A bunch of wizards that have raised their island nation. It's a medjocracy.
Scotty looks very interested in this.
I knew she would be.
I actually had one of their own grace my halls within the last couple of months. Never had
Hi.
much. Never. Hi, I'm Opie. Haven't heard from him lately.
Perhaps we could drop in there as well. It's close enough to the point of contact you want us to check into, and on our way coming down to the Haldera and Doreen Valley area.
Yes. I will say this. Obviously, Haldir has no love for Doreen. Though I'm not sure if you'll be able to manage more of their forces. You'd have to talk with the Thane here just to get that current status. Tallow looks annoyed, but says nothing. Also, a place where I may not have any influence, but at least is set against Doreen, is Omal.
Are they now?
Yes, the Daranese have tried to eradicate the people of Omal. So at the very least, you'll find that they are set firmly against your
If
Doreen Valley.
we can rally them, that wouldn't be a bad point outside of Doreen.
It might be, but they... Well, let's just say that they are on their back heel currently, or at least last I was informed.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the good fathers, and for what my involvement therein had been in the past, we were very much winning our conflict. Omal's forces are very likely on the brink of ruin.
Well, that doesn't particularly matter. They'll probably have the spark inside them to rise again, especially if we show up there last, and if we've done our job well, we'll be coming with people, information, power. We could kindle them again. We might be able to get them in a place where they're in fighting order.
There's a bit of a low rumbling, kind of like a threatening wolf noise coming from Syl, who kind of recoils backwards. And just Tallow just... I think I get it. Basically what she's inferring is that they are cornered wolves. If we can get them out of their desperation, we might, and show up with enough force, we might be able to rally something there, eh? Syl will just kind of nod.
Then
Take up more grapes.
it's worth a try. If anything, it might be a good place to station ourselves. I don't know if the good father would have much attention there if they're already backed into a corner. Especially if there are bigger threats keeping his eyes off them.
I don't know. I mean, if you want to go to that as a last place, that might be good. I'd be worried about getting that close. If he's already focused on hammering them, even casually.
Well, are they still being hammered? Do we know that?
I would love to tell you otherwise, but my sphere of influence and information is being kept largely within the area.
Okay, so we might not be able to stay there, but it's worth a looking into, because if we can, it may be a leverage point. If we can't, we pick up some more people and we find another place we can station ourselves. We can't, honestly, I mean, infiltrating Doreen again is going to take... Perhaps working with Dahadi will be able to pull it off, but it's not going to be easy.
I'm not.
What is that reaction?
Just a full head roll from Gil.
Oh, why?
True, we haven't checked in with him in a while. We don't know what he's up to or what the situation is on the ground there.
I can try to touch base with him again.
That might give us a timeline, perhaps.
We can at very least let him know what we're doing, so perhaps he can get his actions aligned for when we arrive.
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
Having somebody on the inside is going to be better than doing it blindly.
Well, that's... Information was what Dahati was good at. He certainly, for the most part, kept everybody off our backs.
Yes.
For the most part. Is that your opinion, Fluffy, or is that something Dez is chirping about?
It's mine, but I wanted to put it down before I forgot it.
Okay.
Gil, what is your issue now?
I'm taking note.
Let's just continue on.
Gives Gil a very long and uncertain look.
Hear that?
Alright, so we got half a dozen places to look for. What about here?
That's a good question. What
I
about
mean, we're
here?
already here, right? Well, of course, there's quite a few people, though not many here would have any direct cause against Doreen. Some of the things that are happening there would certainly be abhorrent to many here. There's always the nest, but I'm not sure that you have the funds to hire them for a long-term campaign.
I feel we're probably going to be at the mercy of people's passions.
Well, you never know. There might be people who are inspired.
We'll already be having to pay part of a crew. Looks at Nicole. I don't think we can pay for warriors as well.
I mean, I don't have the coin that you guys have managed to come across, but I have enough in our coffers to hire a couple of people out of the docks who said that they didn't have anything either major to go on, or they liked the way the boat looked and wanted to get out and about. But I'm sure there's other people around the city who might have some actual training.
It's not like we're very much trained for rebellion.
All right, well, I might have made an executive decision on at least something here. Forgive me, but it is my right. I did manage to talk to one individual who's quite a bit out of his... well, he's a long way from home. And I did bring him on board.
I mean, that sounds like a good thing.
He seems a stout boy. It's a guy by the name of Leaf. He's one of us. Although he has been, well, he's one of us.
Out of character, Scotty will always be a fan of How Dare I Men. So this is okay.
It's like, it's almost on fetishistic levels at this point. She's like one of those people who like, was like, I like Latino man.
She's getting there.
Except in this case, it's Nordic.
Yep. Get that Scandinavian greatness going on there. Okay. I think I've heard that name before. Is it who I think it is? Yeah, I would imagine you would have heard about him. He is a long way from home. Whichever, by this map, whichever one place you would say to call him from home. Still, he is a sound sailor. He's wanting to get back out on the sea, to go to either one of... He wants to find his people, and... Well, when I told him of what was going on in the valley and our struggles, over a bit of a pint, he at least seemed like he would lend a hand. Either getting back to... I don't even know which family he's going back to. Seeing the air of question mark that's probably painted on Scotty right now.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Tyler will just kind of has this slightly soured look on his face, but he comes from one of the families, Branvold. His family left the grasp for a white... Did you take a gnarly hit there? What the hell, Fluffy? I just saw your eyes just kind of like go wide and back, and
That was me acting out Dez going, eh.
I don't even know. His family left for... No. His mother was... Well, she was a mighty woman. Very well known in the lands. She took she took a Celian sailor as one of her prizes, and the two of them hit it off. Well, at least he was saying that he was on board a Celian ship. I think he might have been from the Cat's Darkwood.
More question marks, just like, you know, in the animes where like the question marks just start floating off.
Yep,
That's Scotty right
sounds
now.
about right.
She doesn't know anything out of Ulta, so she's just...
Yeah. Oh god, what was the...
But seeing Des just kind of like leaning back and like... She'll just reach over and start petting him.
There we go. Patron gave him that lock high. Yeah, maybe. Hold on. I'm gonna check my phone to see if there's a note, the note there that I need or / want, without risking having things pulled up.
I think we've talked about this person before.
Maybe.
He sounds very familiar.
But no, that list there was just me trying to take the notes that I was thinking, because it seems like
Oh, screw it. This is gonna be the...
go, there, then double back and hit these places on the way down. Then maybe go back up and around and come out over here, hit this one, that one, and then war.
Well, no, think about it in a circle. We wouldn't even have to go across like that. Well, I guess if we wanted to hit that island, we would. I kind of wanted to start in Atropos. Like, I'm super into that idea.
Well, then we
But I
could...
Your map makes better sense, so...
Oh no, do they not have...
If you wanted to hit... God damn it, select that. Whatever, it won't let me select that line right now. If you wanted to do that first, then we go down there and continue on as previously mentioned down here. Then we come out, and instead of going down, we go up to Latarl and then back down to Maniftal and whatnot.
Maybe. Your first map made more sense, though. But I really want to go to Atropos. I want to...
Well, the first one would have went to Atropos as well. Atropos is in here.
The first one I thought went to Laharl first, and then down to Atropos.
Well, I'm saying we could, because otherwise it's out of the way.
Yeah.
Why will it not let me get rid of the lines on the other side? There we go.
You might need to color with a different crayon. That one's... The purple's getting kind of lost.
Need to go get a thing?
I need to go get a thing, and...
Here,
You're not
then
gonna ask me
we
to do it?
go
No, I've asked you for enough, and you gotta sit there and
to
deliberate with your cat.
here. Then we go out to here.
Uh-huh.
We go to here. Then we go out, and we can either go up to Litharl or go down to Moniftal, and then Haldir, and then up.
I would probably go up first. Well, we're gonna go to Amal. Sorry.
Amal.
I don't know. Going to the Haldirai is up to Talo, and he did not seem to like that idea. But I like any plan where we start with Atropos first.
As I was trying to pay attention, those are like the most likely candidates for assistance.
Yes. I think
Sealdor.
is not a bad area either. It's in good standing with the soccer, right?
No.
No? Okay, then I know.
That was not rest. Sealdor was mentioned by Tallow as a place that Brandvold had Brandvold's family had settled in.
Okay. What about Ray Seal?
Ryciel. Now that is an interesting place that you're not going to find much in the way of individuals there for hire. It's a holy land. Not many people get to just go in there.
Fair enough. Then we'll just leave it out. We have enough places to hit as it is.
a lot of divine people decide they want to place themselves there.
Do we lose a salmon game?
No, she was never in the game itself.
Oh,
Since we're not doing combat and I'm paper sheeted, wasn't really necessary.
Hey, Fluffy, just as a question here, did you ever import Zyman to? Did you just recently put Zyman in the off-time fights?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, because I saw Zyman's character sheet in here, so I had to question it.
It's in where?
The off-time fights.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I remade him because that was
Alright.
not hard. I remembered enough about him to remake him.
Okay. Damn, I thought I had some of these notes still left, and I don't, and it makes me sad. So, there's quite a bit there, and I'm sure you can find some individuals who might want to give you your, at least join your cause, if even temporarily.
It seems at the very least we have a chance.
That you do. So legit pissed.
Mm.
That I don't have this, and it was actually kind of important. Oh fuck. Yeah, we've got a man here. He's good enough. It all depends on where he's going.
What does it matter where he's going if he's
It's-
willing to help?
It was a bit of a sore spot when his mother left. She basically dropped all of her responsibilities. She was head of one of our houses. And then she took off from this guy from the Darkwood.
That sounds like a past battle.
It is, and for the most part it's fine, but it's a political thing. It's messy and I don't quite like it, but the fact is that they left a bit of a gap there, and a lot of good men died in people trying to pull inward to it.
That has nothing to do with the boy, though. His parents made choices, and it doesn't really matter to us, or it shouldn't, because we're looking for people. He's willing to be a person.
I'm just letting you know what the past of that is. Yeah, it's a bit of a sore spot just because of my family, but
I'm
you're
sorry.
right. You're right when you say that the boy is fine.
I misspoke. I didn't realize how tied in your family was to it.
Yeah, well. It's fine. If he wants to help, we can't exactly be too overly picky about where we get our help. As he'll actually shoot Gil a rather pointed, somewhat stern look. He's just kind of...
God, he will instantly look down at the cat.
Gil won't say anything, but just give Tallow this, just let it drop kind of look.
I'm hoping with all of this we can also get some information on Roro. I feel that we should be taking more responsibility in finding him.
I agree. We need to find the boy. We need to figure out what he's going to do, what's happened to him. Well, I can say that he probably didn't go willingly.
Not if the last thing you saw of him was what you said.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to tackle someone that can just do with reality what they will. I mean, we can't track that. We can't even hope that that is close. The most I can think is perhaps we can taunt it out, but...
You can seek out some of the people he was allied with in days past.
Do you have a list of those people?
Oh, Yes. I don't know of whom would still be... I don't know which of them are still working, if they are, towards their goal.
Sounds like a bit of Russian roulette.
A little bit. But it wouldn't please you to hear it. Or at least wouldn't please some of you to hear it. But there are still members of the Men in Chains still lingering around, though scattered, retired in certain respects, I suppose you could say.
The Men in Chains?
Yeah, the people he led to murder. Yes. Back in my old days as what I was, I led these individuals. Now, some of them I know broke away. Others I don't know. One for certain is Zedric.
Fuck that guy.
Whom I'm sure, near 100% positive, was the man who was directly responsible for taking your companion.
Okay, so
Because of his abilities to get in and around my own personal defenses, based on the skills he's been taught and his knowledge of me. I know that he's still working for our adversary.
Alright, we'll avoid him and find people who may disagree with him. These Men in Chains, where do we even start looking for them? Are they along the path that we're carving already?
The last I heard, which was months ago, a handful of them are in Mysidia.
Well, we're going
No,
there.
2 of them, at the very least, are still in Mysidia. The third, I had, before all this had been cleared out, I had asked a favor of, and she was headed towards Doreen. I have no idea where she is.
She didn't go to Doreen?
She went there, but I didn't. But with everything here, I lost contact with her. I'm not entirely certain if she returned back to her home in Mysidia, where the other 2 make their residence. That is a thorn in my side, to be fair. The only reason I sent her out is because she was from the valley.
Sorry, my meta game is panicking so hard right now. Like, absolute panic.
Oh no. We have upset the pigeon.
Yes, the pigeon is upset.
Pigeon is distressed! Pigeon is distressed!
Back in character. Well, if you get contact with her and she's still in the valley, would she be willing to help be insider for us when we're trying to get back in?
I'm fairly certain.
Or at least give us the temperature of what's going on?
Yes. Yes, I'm sure she would be more than cooperative. To be fair, I'm fairly positive that, again, if being positive and assuming that nothing has happened to them, my it's hard to describe him, but I have someone close to me in Mysidia, and he's in charge of the city, charge of a new settlement on the coast by the name of Rune. He was starting to work on it. His name. His name is Bast.
Pigeon is not surprised.
I've lost contact with him, like I said, and I would like to. If you're going to check there, I would ask that you assist them in whatever is keeping their lines of communication closed.
Well, that and the other two men in chains we can check into, right?
Yes, they. I have a fair bit of time. I have a fair bit of confidence that Bast would not let the two of them fall from his sight. They can be unruly at times.
Well, we're definitely playing with fire now. Alright, well, that is something we'll check into before we go over to Mall. But I don't think it'll be anytime soon. Do you have issue with that?
Well, of course I have some issue with that, but your present concerns are your concerns. I have a personal investment in Bast and Rune's well-being.
I thought that was that.
But you will take your course of action where you will. Now, it seems like he thinks for a moment. I agree with your prospect of starting inward here and then spreading out. I'm sure you'll find people that, at the very least, are willing to trade favors.
Well, that's the best we can work with currently, so we can't say no to it.
Look wherever, and if you need a foot in the door, I think I can probably. I think it obvious, but I know most everyone here.
Alright. So you know who we should start with?
That I could tell you of who I could probably pull strings for. But you'll have to forgive me a little bit of discretion and allow you to make your own decisions on.
I can't say I'm too concerned with that.
Seems a little bit of a cop-out if you ask me. My hands are more tied. I can give you generalized advice without much concern. But if I were to point you directly, some in my particular circles would consider that too much interference with mortal affairs. Especially seeing as how you're on a very politically driven mission.
Not having your hands all over toppling the Dream Valley would be best then?
I have to be careful with how I direct you. I can give you small informations about who likes my who views me and my actions in a better or worse light.
Then should I be quiet about being your priestess?
Gil, big drink. Well, at the very least, my name should be left out of things. I have been spreading the word of being the Fire Lord. At times, I think, well, the Lion of Flame. Lion of Rebirth. I can't remember. Some people are just... The fact is that as a deific presence, I'm not as well known as I would like to be. But my name rings far and wide and, well, has an ill sound to many ears. So, be careful.
Indeed.
I know I can handle myself if suddenly they think they have what it takes to come after me, but I really don't want to go through that trouble.
I'll be responsible with it then. Scotty will kind of put one hand over the tattoo of his symbol.
But, aside from that, I think you've got quite a lot of things you can think on.
We have a list of things to do and it's daunting, but at least we have things we can do. I suppose starting with seeking out whoever's willing here.
There are people who need things, and if you're looking for, like I said, work to improve upon yourselves, we'll say. I do know that on occasion, just outside the walls of the nest, they do have a board that periodically has essentially help wanted missions on it.
Those tend to come with a payout.
Those tend to come with a payout, yes. But it's also an opportunity to do some good in the world, spread the good word, and sharpen your own talents.
We just need daring and ambitious young warriors who have an interest in such things. So we go and put a message on this nest board. But how long are we to stay here?
I leave that to you.
She'll look to Nicole.
I'm, of course, eager to get out on the water. But we've got room for people. We need... As Nicole will pull out a small ledger. Well, we've got, what, this 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7 of us now.
Is that enough?
Well, if we want to work kind of a hard press, the Drift, she... 3, 4... Yeah. To really make it run and be able to be effective, we're going to need 3 people.
She'll glance at Tallow thoughtfully. I was hoping we wouldn't be as bound to our duties as we had been previously. There's a favor I'd wanted to ask that's going to take time.
Well, then we're going to have to find a crew. We were running 10 men while you were traipsing through the desert. there wasn't a lot of time for rest. Thankfully, the boat was kitted out to accommodate for such a light crew. Normally, a boat of that size would take twice the manpower.
So,
As Nicole just kind of looks with a sense of pride.
okay, so at the very least we need 3 people and still going to be hard pressed. But
We get 3 more people. 3 more good people. Skilled on the water.
did Morgrim have any interest in coming with us again?
I hadn't talked to him.
We may want to track him down. He was skilled, yes.
Well, he did seem to know his way around the boat.
Might be at least somebody.
Is possible. It's not something that I would argue. He seemed like a solid man. I'd vouch for him. He's got skill.
Scotty will look patronized, but look away from Gil.
You didn't say for what. I was hoping Q would notice and comment. I'm not directing that. All right, Fluffy, you can take that comment and yeah, I know there's a couple of badasses all over the place, and here's the thing for all the little meta pigeons around. I also know of another place that could very well help this endeavor that Asaka knows about, but doesn't like to mention.
Well, could he, please? We need the stuff.
He's not mentioning the fucking Cloud City, okay? He's already mentioned them in passing.
That would be very helpful. Well,
They're not on great terms, okay?
so we find Zyman first. Zyman will tell us.
Simon might be on the city. You don't know.
I mean, there's a good possibility
Let's hope
he
he's
is,
not.
because he really liked those guys.
Yeah.
Let's hope he's not, because then he'll mention them, and then we'll have some serious power. Anyway. Well, that's if maybe that depends on.
Well, I mean,
Scotty.
who do you
Maybe
think-
Scotty should hide in a box when they go talk to those people?
Maybe. But who do you think Asaka was taking the idea from? And improving upon the design. he found out about Apollo's centurions and he's like, no, I can do it better. Watch.
Alright, well. We need to find people, so Nicole, we're going to be here another day, 2 days, a week.
I don't like it. I don't generally like it. I want to get out, but I understand what we need to do. And it will be good to have more than rank and file, just people hanging around. If you can find some people to actually, get some muscle that can help us on the boat and off of the boat. All right. I'll keep my ear around the docks. We are still good to be tied up in the slip, right? I'll make for sure that your boat is taken good care of. And don't you worry. I'm not going to be... I'll waive you your fees and all that. I'll pass messages to the Dockmasters that it's to be taken care of, and I'll make for sure that it's in tip-top condition by the time you're leaving. Well, you'll talk to me about what you plan on doing with my ship, yeah? Of course, of course. I'll speak with you about the repairs to your vessel. As Asaka looks amused. Well, alright then. I can do my part to keep an ear around on the dock area for the sailors.
We can go to this nest place and hope that we get some information there.
You think it might be good to, I don't know, the birds are kind of interesting.
Scotty looks thoughtful. Well, I mean, besides Roro having an issue, I don't know much about that place.
I don't know, they seem pretty savvy on things. I mean, I got this torch off of them.
Well then, perhaps are we allowed to recruit from there?
I wouldn't bar you from making your inquiries. I mean, at the very least, I am well aware of the people who come in and out of my city in a general fashion. Infiltrators are rare. The Queen has very tight reins on such information, which they are fuming about right now, knowing that there was an infiltrator.
Alright.
But aside from that, I can maybe not vouch for everyone's personal disposition, but as far as being agents of your Doreen Valley, that would be a minimal.
Well, Gil, if you're interested, I wouldn't mind us heading there too.
Well, if we're gonna look in the city, we're gonna look in the city, right?
Yes, seems so.
There's this all kind
We just
as Syl just kind of sits there. She's definitely got a flush in her cheeks.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying your after-fight meal, so.
As Talha looks over and goes, But I think what Sil-san is getting on about is there is what looks to be a pirate boat. That is a tavern and a restaurant. That might be worth looking into as well. It's where we went to drink with Morgrim and his friend.
Vaguely remember that before climbing up the mountain.
Yeah, before running off.
yeah.
Gil. That was unnecessary.
Maybe.
Well, we can check the tavern too. It's where we found our jobs when we were in Triander.
I'd say you could use the North Star gates, but I don't think Lord Estelle has got them up and running yet. There used to be a series of commercial gateways to other key points around the globe, but with the jumble, all those lines have been severed, and I'm not entirely sure what his work on them has been.
Well, I think that Nicole will prefer his boat, and honestly, I wouldn't mind getting back on the drift for a bit. But that's a kind offer.
No. Kind nothing. It's a service that you would have to pay for.
Alright then.
Lord Estelle is a bit of a businessman. He's the one that runs Mana. There's a kind of like a noise coming from Scylla. She's just kind of bobbing her head. She wanted to check the place out. She heard that there was entertainment on the island.
Cool island.
I'd tell her to stop, but I know that's not going to happen.
Perhaps we should wrap up here then.
I think that might be a good idea. We've been through a lot today, and I'm going to take... Do we got to climb down a mountain, or are we getting out of here? You come back the way you go back the way you came, and we'll see that you're at least on the Shining Terrace. All right then. Well, come on, Silsan. We're going to be going now. She'll just kind of and set that down and just kind of lean into Tallow. Just, well, all right then. I'm going to take her back. Come on now. Picks her up and she's just kind of
Pleased with herself.
she's very, very pleased with herself, and the two of them at least go walking off. But hey, Des, coming from Nicole, just
Yes.
I'll be right back. My phone died, so I'm
Okay.
not connected to Discord anymore.
all right. I imagine that you being out there, you're planning on coming with us, eh?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of just want to. I just kind of want to help her, and he'll like nod at Scotty.
Well, all right then. If you're going to be part of the crew, do you have any experience on the water?
I've been. No.
All right, so you're not really going to be able to help us, so that still brings us up to having 6 people who are skilled, or at least somewhat skilled on something at the boat.
Mm.
Do you have anything else that you might be able to contribute with?
I mean, if somebody locks their keys in their room, I might be able to help.
Good to know. She just kind of looks down at you.
What did he say?
Nicole was asking if he was, first of all, had experience on the water. He's like, no. He's like, was there any other skills? I don't know, but if someone locks their keys in the room, I could probably help. He just looks down. Alright, so that means we're going to still need 3 for a fully functioning boat. Stretched thin, but something we can do. So what we've got here is, I know that that Brandvold has got, he can act as a shipwright. So that's going to be something that can help us with. We've lost our bosun. As Gil will just kind of raise a cup and basically what we need at that point, we're going to need a good bosun, a good barber, and a good cooper. And that's, we can make that work with our, we can make that work as a base, and anyone else, is just going to take pressure off of us. Well, you're already taking pressure off of Gil. As Gil will just
Scotty will glare at Nicole.
But these are the things that we need to get the boat up and running.
Alright. We will find these people for you then.
I'm sure I can find some people who will make do, but I'd rather have some people who are practiced in a fight, because I'll tell you, we ran into a little bit of trouble out on the sea, and the crew we hired were, well, they were good for holding down the lower levels.
Alright. Well, we need people good in a fight anyway if they're going to be helpful to us on the boat and on land. I was hoping that perhaps we would all have a bit of time between our assignments to perhaps train in other endeavors.
Well, then you're just going to have to, we're going to have to hire out some people probably. But the more that you can get in with either your own money or, like he was saying, in favor, that would be for the best. So, I'll keep an ear on my end. You keep an eye out on yours.
Actively so.
Alright.
With that, I'm going to go and start taking note on the drift to take humble advantage of his offer.
Alright.
Oh, this'll be rich. Oh, I hope you are. Well, we'll see what we can do. As Nico will flip the book to Gil, he'll kind of take a grasp on it and just, all right, well, we'll see you back there. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's where the two of them are going. So find Tallow and Syl, and I don't know, where are we gonna meet up? Probably tomorrow, and figure whatever else out. To be honest, Gil, I don't know.
Could we meet up at that tavern Tallow was speaking of?
I mean, I don't know if it's going to be open in the morning, but at least that's a place we can go. And then start spreading out downward.
Either that
It's
or
kind
the
of
drift.
huh?
Either that or the drift.
Are you guys going to make it down?
That's a good question.
I don't remember if we had a room anywhere else.
Well, Scotty kind of ran off before they got a room and then spent the rest of the time on the boat before they got into the fights.
Yeah. So, you know what? Go ahead and pass it along. That's a good enough thing. In the morning, we'll all meet up at the drift and then figure out where the hell we're going. All right, well, if I see... I'll see if I can catch up with them and pass that along. So, you guys take care.
What?
As he'll kind of pick up and just... Thank you for the hospitality.
Yeah. Right.
Oh,
Right.
you'll be thanking me more later, I'm sure. Good night, Scotty.
Good night, Nicole.
And he'll head off. Well, would it be too much to ask for cannons?
Oh.
Do you guys
dear.
have cannons? Well, I know there are people around who you could hire for that. Because we don't have a gunner. We don't have guns. But our ship used to have cannons.
What about those? The bird you said you got a torch
You know,
from?
I thought I saw I thought I saw cannons on the Those things actually real? Oh, they're real. That was a very functioning vessel. And those cannons have served in active combat within the city before. But I do... The... There are mechanical experts around in the city.
Oh, no.
The Eyrie has the remnants of the Airkeep. And as far as Pengayan history goes, they were quite well adept in the arts of, well, what you would consider to be more cutting-edge technologies. There are also engineers down in the Undercroft, but theirs is less weapons of war and more just machinery. If you truly want weapons of war, I would again direct you towards Totalin. It's a little ways from here, but it is in this mountain range. They're the more warlike ones, whereas the people of the area are more useful tools. Advancements in the potentials of science. They don't really wage war or make weapons therein. But there might be one or two who could have such skills. I'm not entirely certain. But there is a great amount of technology around here. So we'd have a gunner at that point. Guess in your off time, if we get enough people, you're kind of our ship mage here, but you're kind of already focused on half of a job as it is.
What are you thinking otherwise?
Well, I mean, other positions having a ship arcanist, that would basically direct your time towards those sort of procedures. We would be taking you off of, like, nighttime navigation, but...
Scotty will grimace at that thought.
I'm just saying, we could try and hire someone to be a straight-up ship mage. Where you can still focus on navigation, driving the boat.
Feel a little bit replaced, but alright.
It's not that, it's just these are things that boats... I mean, it's an optional thing. Like, before you came along, we didn't have anybody really doing that sort of thing on the boat. But filling that kind of role does take focus. Like, we could find and set up a lab for you. Carefully bolted down, but...
I really do miss practicing with me.
But, you know, I know that takes time and attention, and that would probably leave you kind of want to be at the helm. So I leave that up to you as where you want to do that.
Can I have a minute to think about that?
We don't need to... we haven't found anybody, so you have until we leave, essentially, I would imagine.
Alright.
Mark that down in your book. At the very least, it's not a bad thing to have an alchemy laboratory on the ship. I might have to look into that. I might even give him a discount on it. How generous.
That's a very tempting thought, to be having a lab again. Haven't really been able to do that since Alta.
It's just a thought, not a replacement.
We'll shrug it, Gil.
Yeah. But, yeah. If we can get some guns on the ship, we'd need someone to actually run the guns. Nicole and I, we didn't know a damn thing about them. All we knew is that they were expensive. And we sold them. Laugh as you want. We were able to buy really good rigging and tables.
It's probably for the best that you two sold the guns.
I mean, sure, we fired them off a couple of times, but we didn't hit nothing. It wasn't bad.
Probably a good thing you got rid of the guns.
But if we're gonna be at this, we might consider finding some.
Alright. Well, we have a place to look for that.
Yeah.
And if we need somebody to man them, we might find that in the same place we find them.
Would stand to reason. Those things have got a little kick, otherwise I'd say have the cat do it.
Sounds fun.
Does.
Yes.
Scotty's just kind of studying Des for a long second. He may have an issue actually maintaining the guns and lighting them and such. I don't know if he's tall enough.
He must be this high to operate the cannons.
Alright, so do you want to look into guns first?
I mean, that's if we get into trouble. I don't... To be fair, the drift was a pretty big deal. And we had to spend a long time shaking people from it. I've not really seen much in the way of... I mean, we've come across a couple of boats with, like, ballista. A couple with, catapults on it. But as far as cannons go, that's like the top end of what we've found.
Alright.
So we're dealing with big ass crossbows shooting at us when they're shooting at us.
That's not fun. How about once we put a note on the nest requesting heroes for favor trade, we go and look at some guns.
I mean, depends on how much they're gonna cost us, because that's... Like, we sold those for a lot of money.
Well, we can at least...
I'm a little worried of who got a hold of them, and I don't know where they're at anymore.
Well, we can at least price them out for now.
Laughs in Halberin.
Figure out how to get that covered when we all sit down and talk.
Yeah. Well, I consider this to be a stunning success for a meeting. I think I will excuse myself. Please enjoy what remains here, and you will be deposited, same as the rest of your companions, once you leave down that stairwell. But until then, have a good evening. If you need anything, you know how to contact me.
Yes, thank you.
Good night. And Asaka will get up from the table and kind of walk.
Night.
Good night, Des. Rest well. Leaving the three of you alone. Well, I feel like we didn't have our direction cut down too much.
We were provided information, but no, we weren't directly...
Like, there's There's definitely not a step-by-step here.
Doesn't seem that that's how things operate around here. But at least we have some information and we just do our best with it, I suppose.
Yeah.
What time of, like, life is it currently
What
for
time?
Dan?
What time of life? Now is the summer of your discontent.
Because, like, I don't know, like, how long the fights were, how long they've been up, if they are going to go into exhaustion.
No, you're probably. I mean, you're probably a little womped. I'd say a little womped out, but it's more like mentally tired because the whatever it was that Fells was feeding you was refreshing you, but you still have put a lot of mental strain.
Still don't trust it.
Don't worry. I'm not a poison spider. I prefer explosives.
That definitely calms the nerves.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's like early evening. It's the last the last rays of the day are fading behind the mountains.
I'm just wondering if we can start on anything we need to do at this point.
Some places seem to be becoming more alive when the sun goes down. Well, you have more of a sense of where you wanna go, so I'll let the two of you take lead.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything particular you want to start with?
Anything in particular I want to do? Or what?
Yeah, anything that you would like to cover or do?
No, I don't know. Some point, go see maybe about getting some equipment or something, since I have coin to spend, but that can happen at any point.
That is a good idea. I wonder how many shops would be open at this time.
I couldn't tell you on that one.
Well, we could start by looking into the shops before they close. See if we catch any of them open.
Alright, well, you're the guy, you've got the money to spend. I blew all mine earlier.
Alright. Well then, Scotty will lead out of the gazebo.
Okay.
Yay!
And you are deposited here on the Great Span.
Isn't the nest nearby?
The nest is over here. The Eyrie is here. And we have the Shining Terrace here. I believe that's what it ended up being referred to as.
Is that where Tallow and Solar?
Yes, it's called the Shining Terrace.
Back.
So yeah, the top level that has the temple, the fairy dome, and the Mages Academy is in the Shining Terrace. which also houses the Citizens Theater, technically Holidays. So yeah, I'm starting. I don't think you can see all of it just yet. I don't know, but I'm starting to. I put out a lot of the sections of Ether. So the Shining Terrace has the Citizens Theater, which is essentially the governmental buildings. Holidays, which is the pirate boat. Darkspire Academy, the Garden of Lights, House of the Flickering Flame, and the Court of Steel, which houses a lot of their military rank and file.
Oh.
The next tier is the upper reaches, which is basically the more noble and high scale homes. Then you have the middle tier, which is a civilians tier.
Is that where we'll be shopping?
Yeah, they have the west and east commons, which are the residential areas, and in the center is the gold quarter, which has all the commerce, including the North Star, venues for eating. It has Drakeport Steel, which you've been to. It's got what did I call it? The Canvas Court, which is their Grand Bazaar. It has Malcor, which you have been to, I believe.
Yes, because they went and met Maurice or whatever.
Yeah. And the lower level is known as the Pastora, which has the Ember Enclave, which you were in, which was the Ember Dome.
Mm-hmm.
Where there is a cult forming.
If Osaka can train them, we could use them.
And then, of course, you have the Undercroft and Isla de Mana, which Syl really wants to go to. It's Disneyland with like Rio de Janeiro. It's like Mardi Gras Disney.
Oh, did I?
Well then, I guess Scotty will lead down to the shopping area since they want to see if there are any shops remaining open.
Alright. Well, heading down into that center, down into the center square, you again see with the kind of a flickering light being cast over the central fountain garden, as the kind of like the whichever way you're looking at it, you see like that screen in the basically being cusped in the fountain, in the large fountain. Currently, probably what's playing here is, it seems to be images of groups of somewhat common looking individuals doing research on a creature, but it doesn't look like it's like a documentary or something historical. You see what looks to be a counter in the corner of the screen going down, and it seems to be some kind of event or production of like a game of some form. But Malcor is very much lit. You also see the fires, the flicker coming from Drakeport Steel. The tavern is just lighting up. It seems like the area is still very much bustling.
Okay. Des, is there anywhere particular you want to go?
Well, the one thing I want to buy is, well, one of them anyways, is a new weapon.
Um, well, do you know this area enough to know where that would be found? I can't say that Scotty's gonna know.
Well, I'd been wandering around here for a little while. A lot of pre-made stuff you can find in that shopping court right over there. He's pointing to the place with the wrought iron gate that has Malcor straight over it. Uh, Obviously, the custom weapon, if you want custom built weapons, you go in through there. And they have a kit in there that enchants things, so if you just needed something enhanced. But I think that's where Morgrim was headed off to.
Yep.
Past that, there's a there's a big old flea market, essentially. Find a lot of odds and ends there. Some of the food didn't seem half bad.
Were you actually looking for me or touring around?
I was looking for you, but you spend hours doing it. You need to take a stop to keep yourself going.
Scotty's amused expression fades away.
Drop.
Alright, do you want to go look at the pre-made weapons, or is it something custom you're interested in?
Well, I mean, having a custom made deal would be cool someday, but I don't think we really have the time for that now.
I don't know, I guess that depends on how quickly we can find people.
I'm fine going to the pre-made stuff, see what we can't find, peruse a bit.
Alright.
Alright, well, there is Malcor and the shops therein.
Guessing Blades is going to be where you want to go?
Oh, I don't know. I can't see that. But sure.
Oh, okay, we'll find here. Ta. There
Yay!
you go.
Baldur's Blades. I like it. And Maurice. I like Maurice.
And what can we do to you?
When estate tools, wand and staff work. Well, yeah, definitely want to go to the weaponsmith. Then the other thing I'm looking for, I don't know where to look.
No, what are you looking for?
Well,
Wait.
it's a thing really only usable by people like me. It's a rod. It makes my spells a little better.
So,
Sir.
this Mortimer guy, maybe?
Maybe.
There's wands and staffs.
Definitely worth a look anyway.
Alright, well. Go on in.
All right.
Well, there's a gray-bearded dwarf in somewhat formal-looking robe and attire. Seems is going through his inventory, basically dusting it. Because you, the three of you, come walking in. Hello, what can we do for you today?
Scotty looks to Des.
Well, I mean, I don't know about my friend, but I know I'm looking for a rod.
Hey, we got some of those. What you needing done?
I'm looking for one one for the types that like to make packs with things.
His eyes just kind of give you a once-over, kind of warily.
Barbecue.
Hi. One of your type.
What was that?
One of your type.
Mm-hmm.
Always trying to find to milk your deep bargains, eh?
Well, I I guess I don't know.
Personally, what I've been hearing from you, from those, I don't exactly agree with the things that you and your ilk do, but
I assure you, it's strictly professional.
I heard that many a time, but it's not my place to judge as far as a reasonable buyer goes. Just I don't want to be hearing that you caused any trouble using my wares.
Trouble? No, that's like my least favorite thing to do.
Carl, that kills people.
Oh, gee, I didn't know that.
I'm just the worst.
There's good natured trouble, which I imagine Des is like all about, but bad trouble, nah, don't need that.
Our benefactor does have us keep things of that sort around. As he'll show you a couple of dully gilded rods. It looks like they're made out of a polished oak and kind of bound in what looks to be cold iron, inlaid in the form of chains.
Hmm.
We got these a ways ago. Cleansed them as best we could. But if you have the coin, we'll sell them to you.
And
It seems it looks like he's got one of. He's got three different rods, and each one of them kind of in as you kind of looking over them and seeing, you kind of almost feel a bit of a connection, and you feel, that each one of them is thrumming with a different kind of level of strength.
and what do they run?
I need the DM's book, please.
+1 is an uncommon, +2 is rare. I don't know about a +3.
Probably very rare.
Prob-
Because they
Probably, but I knew that was out of my price, so I
Yeah.
didn't look.
Let's see. Yeah, rods of the pack keeper. Yeah, uncommon, rare, and very rare. Yeah, 500, 5 grand, 50 grand is the prices that he's selling for. Or at least the prices he gives you.
I'm sorry.
Oh. Well, did you?
Hi, Jess.
Quinn said hi, Jess. Um, are you willing to bargain at all? I mean, it's kind of seems like you don't really want them in your shop.
We will have you give a check on your persuasion. Motherfuck. That's going to depend on what you're intending to buy. Which one are you looking at?
Well, I would love that one, and he'll point at the medium fancy one.
The one in the
But
middle.
but the other one, the lesser one, would be acceptable.
This one here, and he points to the one that's obviously, throwing more than the other, than the lesser rod. This... You tell me, what power do you gain your strength from?
I gain it from someone who took me in when I was young and is a good man. And I
Talk,
don't.
talk straight with me, cat.
Amadeus?
I give you this one for 2,000.
I will take it.
It is the medium. It is the medium rod.
The +2.
The +2 rod. 2,000. It's yours. And you make sure the cycle is maintained, huh?
I will do.
As he'll just kind of give you a bit of a nod.
He will reach up to shake.
Cute little cat paw.
Cute little cat paw, yes. Speaking of cute little cat paw, what is your passive perception?
17.
17? Alright, as he reaches out to shake your hand, you will notice that on the back of his on the back of his wrist, you see the outlines of what look to be two kind of feet in a bit of a circular shape that you will immediately recognize.
As
the symbol which is commonly known as Death's Gate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it appears that this person has at least enough affinity to be branded with Amadeus's symbol.
Yay.
As he just kind of looks you in the face. And just nods and takes your coin from you.
Yes, I will hand him 20 platinums or 200 platinum.
All right, and he'll take the coin, shuffle it in, and just. Oh, what about everyone else?
I don't believe what I'm looking for would be here. You specialize in wands and staffs?
Ah, yes, right.
I'm looking for some other magical items.
Well, I've been working in this store since it came up. If you tell me what you're not, I know people around here. Hopefully, I can send you the right way.
Alright, well, I'm looking for a particular cloak, but also for a pair of sending stones.
Yeah, the stones. I think I know that Levine has them. She's right across the way over here. Clothing is an odd one, but at the Abjurant, he probably would have that.
Does that ring a bell to the place Scotty was already at?
Maurice!
She looks devastated.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you pointing me the right way. Perhaps there is one thing that I have a curiosity in that you might have.
Aye.
It's a ring of spell storing.
I got none of that here that I'm willing to sell. I have one of them myself, but I have it for myself. Again, Levine would probably be the one you want to talk to here.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Scotty wants to go to Levine because now I see that that's the jeweler and I have a very particular jewelry item to buy. Studies Gil cautiously.
Gil has no money.
I know, but
it's like well, I can't seem to work a number on this one here. Is there anything else? No, I can't afford shit. I'm still happy with my purchases.
are you done here, Des?
Yes, thank you again.
Just mind yourself. Don't want to hear that the gatekeeper has seen you.
I will do my best.
Des is so freaking adorable.
Little pirate cat boy. I say pirate because he's got the eye patch.
Yes.
Which I have no idea why. I just like it. It's a cool aesthetic.
Both eyes perfectly fine. He just wears the eye patch.
Maybe he takes the eye patch when he casts his darkness spell and that's how he sees through it. Special eye. Anyway,
Well, he's got the shirigami or whatever it is.
That's actually kind of a cool idea. Maybe like one of his eyes is jacked up and it's like permanent darkness sight or whatever, so it's like super bright. And then like that when he casts darkness, his devil sight is just like switching the fucking eye patch.
Igor, yes, Frederick. Wasn't your hump on the other side? What hump?
Anyways, I don't know. It's kind of a fun thought.
So this is certainly a thought. So you are off to
the jeweler, and
You are off to-
Scotty is looking extremely nervous.
the hell's gotten into you?
You'll find out.
I don't know if I like surprises. Not right now.
You didn't like the last one I brought you.
looks around.
Alright, into the jeweler.
Into the jeweler.
As they're walking in, she'll kind of pull out her spell book and thumb to the spell in question to kind of study herself on the logic of why she's doing this.
Yeah, there's a half-elven girl who's been directed as Levine. Somewhat just on the upper side of adulthood, and she's kind of got kind of a light brown hair, green eyes. Is currently has a jeweler's loop, and is working on some kind of gemstone. When you come in, doesn't seem to notice you at first.
Excuse me.
Kind of looks up, one eye squinted. You can see the kind of the bulge of the other eye as it's magnified in the loop. Just, yes, hello. What can we do for you today?
Hopefully a few things.
Very well. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for 2 rings that are particular to a spell. I think that they need to just be a certain quality of platinum.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Is it something that you would have then?
We do keep a small cache. It seems to be a popular enough request.
I can see that being a thing. I'd like to purchase a pair then.
Yes, well. The particular component for that would be 50 gold.
Scotty will nod and there's a few other things that I wanted to see if you had before settling purchases. Is there a chance that you'd have a ring of spell storing?
And that is considered a rare item?
Yes.
Steal this, because I don't want to craps this all over the place. I had one made up just recently, though I hadn't gone about advertising it just yet. Yes, I do have one for purchase.
How much would it be?
The asking price is 5,000 gold. So it was a rare, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a rare. And you're strict on that asking price then?
That is the price that was set forward to us by the owner.
Alright. I may have to pass on that then.
I understand.
But the man we were just speaking with over at the Wand and Staff Works, he said you may have sending stones, a pair of them?
Yes, he would be correct. Another popular request. Sendings. Uncommon. The mark price for that is 500 gold for the pair of them.
And then the last thing that I wanted to look into was something called a Pearl of Power.
What's the range on that one?
Uncommon as well.
Yes, I would have one of those, marked at the same cost as the stones.
I guess I'm not that attached to Ring of Spellstoring. Okay, then that will be what I will purchase. The 2 platinum rings, the Pearl of Power, and the Sending Stone.
Alright.
Which is 10.50.
She will accept your money.
And Scotty will eye Gil. Does she have to buy a ring of size for him, or will they, are they just magically adjustable?
They are mundane rings.
Cool, so she needs him to be fitted for a ring. Yes?
Depends entirely on the two of you.
This is gonna be uncomfortable.
Might well be.
Gil.
Mm.
Come
See,
here a
it's
second.
Gil who has been looking at the gem case.
Come here a second.
He'll walk over. It seems like he was looking at a small case that had a bunch of diamonds in it.
That's not a bad idea either.
Yeah, what's up?
There's a spell that I want to cast, and you're gonna need one of these. And she'll point at the rings. So...
He'll look at the ring, look at you, quirk an eyebrow.
It's part of the spell's components. I'll have to be wearing one as well.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know this spell.
That right.
That is right. So...
It's for a spell, huh?
Yes, it is.
Magic.
Do you think that it would be for something else?
I don't know, Scotty. Is it for something else?
No, Gil, it's not. Now, please, pick a ring. It's got to fit.
Didn't know you wanted to tie me down that badly.
Oh, I don't... You're... It's for a spell, so...
Uh-huh.
It's...
A magic spell. A spell for magic.
She will...
Done by Scotty.
She'll...
Scotty's magic spell.
She'll open her spell book and point at it.
He's not even looking at you anymore. He's got a smile on his face. The eyes are clearly telling you that he's fucking with you, and that he knows exactly what you're talking about. Murder!
Scotty contemplates bashing him in the back of the head with her book. Takes a deep breath.
No one ever needs to know. No one will say it. As he will end up basically speaking with the attendant for a moment and pushing a couple of gold coins across the table, which she'll take and accept and tell him that it'll be ready in the morning.
What are you doing?
Well, if it's just for your magic spell, we're gonna make for sure no one gets the wrong idea then.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, clearly it's just for practical purposes, and you're not binding yourself to me, so...
Isn't it your job to get rings for that?
Well, seem like a proactive lady, so you never know.
Proactive, yeah. Let's
Maybe,
just...
maybe you just like me that much.
I think I've made it clear how much I like you. Whether there are rings involved or not doesn't really matter to me. As far as your safety, on the other hand. What are you doing with the rings?
Now, you gotta get yours fitted. I'm getting mine. Just remember, this is a two-way street.
What's that supposed to mean?
You think I don't know what you're doing? The only reason I'm agreeing to this is because I can do it to you.
That's not what I had planned here.
Funny how that works, huh?
Go.
This is kind of like the Spider-Man meme where they're both pointing at each other and both just says warding bond. How does that work? Can that theoretically work? Two people warding bond each other?
I don't think this.
We'll get the D&D
implies
lawyers
otherwise.
on this question. We forget that Gil's a priest sometimes.
Scotty knows that he's a priest, he just acts more like a Viking. It's just that
Odin is with us.
he's not so into his magic as much as he's into his spear, so she figured that he wouldn't...
Exactly, he's not using concentration for anything.
And she didn't think he'd be into that spell, so she figured she would just get him to agree to put on a
I did not anticipate this.
Scotty is purple and pouting.
My job here is done.
But she will put the other 2 items in her bag.
Okay. It's easily enough purchased. Wonder who we can... I'm gonna have to talk to Nicole.
Why is that?
Well, with the little trick you pulled out, your studies have taken you in a way, and we're probably going to need to have everybody chip in and buy some of, pointing over to the case with the diamonds in it.
You're right. I could purchase a few of those.
We'll discuss it. Everyone on the boat is probably going to have to chip in on those.
Everybody buy their set of diamonds.
Here's your insurance policy. Remember, only so many customers at a time.
Well, that is true.
If we were cashing in that readily, we've got other problems on our hands.
Yes. I surprised you were watching the fights.
Just give us drug.
So, are they done with the... I'm supposing that she's not going to get the rings today.
They'll be ready by morning. Mainly because of the alteration that Gil wants.
Which is?
He discussed getting it more of an armband.
Okay.
Basically. Something to fit on his upper arm.
Not into the ring thing?
He knew what Scotty was doing. So
It's still a ring. It's just a big ring.
yep. And it's at least worth 50 gold, so it fits the requirements.
However, as long as he does the thing. So she just wants to look at the cloak of protection, and then I will need that for now. So that's the last thing I'm interested in looking at.
Alright. And Des, did you have anything else that you were looking for?
I don't know. Cloak of Protection wouldn't be a bad option for him, too, if they have more than one.
Because it's late and I don't feel like being that flamboyant right now.
Scotty thanks you.
Oh, don't worry. In character, Maurice is very much Maurice.
I'm pretty sure she insulted him last time they were there.
No, that was Roro.
Okay. I knew somebody insulted him.
Yeah. Roro did very well on persuasion and then kept talking. But looking for cloaks of protection, which are...
I believe it's an
Uncommon.
They're uncommon?
Mm-hmm.
Which puts those at 500 apiece? Yes.
Can we finagle with that guy?
I mean...
I will roll the persuasion. Try and get him
Scotty
down.
roll it.
Yeah, don't
Pretty
listen.
sure she has a naked one.
I know that's... I noticed that you're like, I'm just going to accept what she says. Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, not so good then. Did I lose you guys?
No,
Quinn is
I'm just...
contemplating torturing us.
Oh, okay.
I'm just in a slight bit of pain for your roll.
Yeah. Scotty was giving me advantage, right?
Yes, Scotty was helping.
Scotty
was looking intimidating.
Are you intimidated? He's
I don't
doing
know.
persuasion.
Scotty doesn't know how this works.
I mean, that's... She tries to put on her tough face, and then Maurice just goes, "Do you have the shit?"
Oh my god.
Are you by any means proficient in persuasion?
She actually might be. Because I didn't know what I was doing when I built this. She is!
Then I will allow, because you are trained in it, I will allow you to provide assistance.
I'm guessing she learned that when her master had her watch the shop.
We're basically talking up Maurice, right?
Huh?
We're talking up to Maurice, right? Yeah, we're talking up how beautiful these cloaks are and how good they look on us and all that.
Yes.
Essentially, you are flattering the creator.
Funny how
yeah.
she's proficient in persuasion and not intimidation.
Don't even know. She's got a negative charisma and has these skills. We don't know what the fuck.
Nope. This is what happens when you don't explain D&D fully to somebody and they just happily go through the character sheet.
Yeah, but that's how you get a strong wizard. Because that doesn't normally happen.
Yeah.
Look, Scotty's not optimized for stats. She's optimized for fun.
She's optimized for fuckery. On the DM
I keep
side.
seeing this TikTok where it's like the wizard out of spells and he's like, oh no, and then he's like 16 strength and starts wailing on the guy and I'm like, oh, it's Scotty.
Yeah, yup, pretty much. Yeah. Oddly enough, you have the 16 strength.
Yeah.
Very respectable. Like, Scotty's, for whatever reason, Scotty's just...
Well,
It's
I
that
mean,
dragon blood, man. It's that dragon blood.
She probably spent some time on her own fending for herself.
You don't know. Just because her brain doesn't remember, her body remembers. So with that, you can get the cloaks for 500 total.
Ooh. I like that so much better.
Yeah, there you go.
You do love us.
With all, Catboy was trying, and you, for whatever reason, have persuasion as a trained skill.
I'm telling you, it's because her master made her.
Sure. I was looking at Gil, who was with you. It's like, he doesn't have persuasion. So that was going to be my saving grace, as if someone was there to provide assistance.
Scotty had to work in master shop. She knew how to do the thing.
And you are also kind of giving, I would imagine you're giving Des tips, because you were observing
I watched
how...
Roro long enough.
Yeah. what Roar was doing well and not so well, and basically you kind of psychoanalyzed him on the spot.
Can I send like free messages to Des? Since he's my family. Oh, she doesn't know that yet.
No, you don't know any of that.
We need to do that. We need them to find out.
From the highest peak to the lowest valley. Yeah, pretty much. So, was there anything else on your shopping lists?
I want a flashier rapier, but that's it.
A flashier rapier?
Mm-hmm.
Like just a +1 rapier?
I mean, yeah. Unless I can fucking nail a persuasion check to get a +2.
A +2 weapon is actually significantly worse, isn't it? Like, price-wise.
Well, I think it's uncommon to rare, pretty sure.
I may have all the freaking cards for these things, but I still need just a straight-up list. Let's see. Weapon. Uncommon. Rare. They do have a +1 rapier available at Baldur's Blades.
+1?
+1.
Who?
Of course, selling
For
market price.
For the hell of it, I would try persuasion again, just cause.
All right. Well, go ahead and make that check.
Eh.
We'll say you get it for 4.
4?
400.
400? Okay. Gotcha.
4 large.
Hey, I'll take it. That's less than max, so I'll take it. Yay! Drag a cloak of protection on my sheet now. I hadn't considered buying one of those.
I'm kind of tempted to get alchemy stuff, but if they're gonna put alchemy stuff on the ship,
You might want to hold out just to figure out what they end up doing.
okay. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything else.
Okay.
I did do my shopping last minute, so.
Well, if you have other ideas as the week goes on, you can let me know, and we can hash that out.
Okay.
Because I also have to hash out their shopping list. Now, tell me, for sake of my sanity, where is the next place that you're going to go to?
I really want to go to Atropos.
Well, I mean, like, currently, like, in the immediate sense.
Oh, well then we need to go to the nest and put a posting up there. And then Gil wants to go look at cannons, but did we have any other places here we want to look at? Like, I know we want to look at the ship.
Gil had mentioned cannons, but wasn't like, we gotta get cannons. Because he doesn't actually think that you can afford them.
Probably not. I mean, Scotty's still got a little over 3,000 left.
I mean, we can definitely look into that, but that's... He said to go up and talk to the dwarves, so that's probably a, like, wait till the...
But that's
the deal.
also a second thing. That's like
Yeah,
the second time he's mentioned going up and talking to the dwarves. So going up there isn't a bad idea.
Yeah, but it's also a day or two travel. The Dwarven City is not super, super nearby.
Okay, so we need to do everything here before we go do anything else. So, well, I know Scotty really wants to go check out this nest thing and put up a boarding list and see if they can get anything from that. Other than that, I really don't know. I guess we can go check out the Averials.
Okay, so you're gonna do the nest and the airy next.
Probably.
Okay. I'm just asking for, to how to direct and my efforts personally, getting things set up for you guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'll be good. I've got some directions. You guys have done your most immediate shopping. That's a plus. So, we will be calling it there because it is midnight and I'm tired.
Yes.
Makes sense. I got work in the morning, so I'm good with it.
All right. Thank you, Doge, for keeping us company. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Tomorrow is Tuesday, yeah?
Yes.
Holy crap, it's Tuesday. Which means we'll be coming back in the evening for...
Masters again.
For
Do
the
we have a name
Master's Betrayal.
Do we have a name for Tuesday?
Tuesday at the table is what we got so far.
Okay.
Did
That's
you have something?
Well, just choose your own adventure.
Ooh. Ooh. I like that. Yeah, that's I liking that. I'm enjoying. Hey there. He doesn't have that guru beard for nothing.
Friday is Fluffy's night, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Because we're off Wednesday and Thursday. And then I really am hoping we jump in to Saturday, possibly picking up the new campaign.
Woo!
That's if I get my prep done.
Yeah, I might actually have to write my story for that guy then.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah, get it done.
I mean, I have the bullet points in my head.
Either that or it'll be Underdark on Saturday.
Hey, either way, it is stuff, and I like stuff. Stuff is good.
Stuff and things.
Always good. But until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Mountain Time. I got nothing more. Take care.
Oh, good.